Hello everyone, this hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series. Today we are going to conclude our unit on customer service, but even if you weren't in the other classes, don't worry, because these classes you can come and go as you like. These are mostly conversation classes. We're going to be doing a case study where we do an activity that's realistic, just like you would have to do at work if you were dealing with a customer service issue. We're going to put together all of the language we've learned so far, and we're going to apply it to this situation. I'll give you feedback and tell you how close you sound to a native speaker and what you can do to improve. So that's a bit about the class. Here's a bit about me. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means turn off your microphone when you're not speaking so we can keep the classroom quiet. Tune in to the new words you're learning when you are speaking so that I can correct you and give you feedback. Finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. So, with that in mind, oh, what happened to my name? My name didn't appear. 1 second. There we go. Now you know who the teacher is because it says Verbling teacher. That's me. Let's say welcome back to Daniel and Jesus. Nice to see you. And Jose as well. Ah, you were here the other day as well. I remember now. Hello, Jose.
Hello, teacher. I'm here. I have a cold, but I'm here. My voice is strange, but I'm here.
I'm glad you made it. Okay, so there'll probably be some other faces joining us in just a minute, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, first of all, the material is always on the Verbling main page where it says class material, but I'm going to give you the links as well. So first, presentation for today's presentation is there. I'm going to share it with you on screen so you don't have to open it, but if you want, it's there. Our notes, in case we do corrections of vocabulary, are there. I'm going to open that myself. And there's another link to homework number 3, which is what I gave you last night. So, if you have any questions about homework number 3, which was practice using direct and indirect questions, now would be the time to ask. I'd be happy to look at it with you and make sure that you understand it. So, I know you did the homework, Daniel. Did you have any questions from homework number 3?
No.
Everything's okay?
I had a couple of issues, but always.
Okay, but we can take a look at it if you want.
No problem. The solution is in the end.
It's true, but you have to make sure that it's clear why the answer is right. So if there's any questions, I
had a problem with the subject is with what?
Problem with? I say it again.
With what? When the direct question.
Okay. Where to put
is what or who? Sorry. When I have to do the indirect question, I did badly.
Okay. Well, let's just take a quick look at one thing before we start the last activity here. So, if you look at homework 3, in the beginning, there's a summary of the grammar, which you can see on screen. So it says direct. Who is Jan? I guess it's Jan. I don't know if that's Jan or Jan. Who is Jan seeing tomorrow? Do you know who Jan is seeing tomorrow? So what you're saying is, if I understand correctly, the problem is who is before Jan. Indirect, who Jan is after Jan. Is that the problem that you were having?
Yes, I write. Do you know who Jan seeing tomorrow is?
Oh, okay, but remember, Is seeing is the present continuous, so it's
Yes.
never going to be seeing is. Never, 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 never.
Mhm.
So the question is only, does the auxiliary verb is, does it go before or after the subject? That's the only question. So remember, it's always going to be who is, and after do you know or do you happen to know or could you tell me, it's always going to be after. So, or what about where? Let's say the question is, where is my bag? How would you ask that as an indirect question?
Do
Where
you
is
know
my
where?
bag?
Do you
Imagine you,
know?
yeah, go for it.
Do you know where my jack is?
Do you know where my bag
Back
is?
is, yes.
Good. So the subject can be one word or it can be two words. My bag is two words. Or it could be an entire sentence. Do you know where my big, round, wrinkled, old bag that belonged to my mother? All that is the subject, and you put the verb after it.
Mm-hmm.
Where is my big, round, wrinkled, old bag that belonged to my mother? Or do you happen to know where my big, brown, wrinkled bag that belonged to my mother is? So even if it's a whole string of words, it's still the subject and the verb is goes after. But anyway, just remember it's always who is, where is, what is. So that's, if you remember that, it makes it easier if you have to think, oh wait, is this before or after the subject? Well, if there's nothing before who, it's always going to is always going to be right afterwards. So and I think that all the other examples are basically like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, well, I'm not going to go and do the exercises because I gave it to all of you for homework. I can give it to you again if you like. If you didn't do it, you can click on the link in class material and you can try it, and I'm always there to answer questions, okay? So that homework I gave you yesterday to help prepare you for today, which is a big speaking activity. Let's say a quick hello to Alan, who's joining us a little late. Hi, Alan, how are you?
Hello, teacher.
Are you in London?
No, I'm in Hong Kong.
You're in Hong Kong. What's that big Ferris wheel behind you? I thought that was the one in London.
That's in UK, but not London.
Oh, it's in the UK, but not in London. Okay. And you're from Hong Kong. Okay. Nice to have you, Alan. And
Yes,
did I say
thank you.
hello to everyone else? I think I did. Shadow, Yuki, Amir, nice to have you back. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with the, whoops, that's not what I want. I want to put the, I want to put part 4. Uh-oh, did I not download part 4? Oh, sorry, I didn't download the material. Give me a second. I have to open it and download it first. For some reason, I didn't do it yesterday. So give me just a second. What we're going to do, as this is opening, what we're going to do is first read a case study that gets us familiar with a customer service issue. That's the first thing we're going to do. Then we're going to discuss it to see how we would solve that particular problem. Then we'll look at the actual solution. From there, we're going to take that case study and imagine that we ourselves had to deal with the same problem. And it's going to involve our phone skills. So we're going to get to use those key expressions we learned earlier. Alan, we learned a lot of stuff earlier, but don't worry. Even if you weren't here, you'll pick it up as we go along, and as a class, we'll help you with the expressions that we learned. So don't worry about what you missed. You'll pick it up.
Okay.
Okay. So I got my presentation open now. And remember, if you want a copy of anything, just go to the class material and you'll see it. Okay, but anyway, you can see now, right now, case study part 4 on screen. Let's say a quick hello to Eric, who's just joining us right now. Hello, Eric. How are you? Oh, Eric, are you there? Eric left, Eric stayed, I can't remember. Hello, Eric, are you there? Hello, hello? Eric, turn on your microphone at the top of the screen and say hello to the group when you get a chance, okay? All right, so let's get started. We're going to read an expert view about customer service. This comes from Stephen Regan, lecturer in management economics at the Cranfield School of Management, in the UK. So this is a place where you can get your MBA. There's a lot of experts in the field there. And we usually take their advice and use it as a kind of a tool to help us think about the case study. Right? Let's get started by reading the expert view together. Amir, we cut you off in the last class. I'd like you to read the expert view for us if you could. Amir, are you there?
Exactly, well.
Go for it.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Okay, the expert view, expectations of what constitutes.
Uh-oh, I think we lost Amir. Are you there? Hello, hello?
Hello?
Ah, you're back. Okay, we couldn't hear you. So, constitutes.
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 Good, good. Keep going.
Okay, let me read it from the first, okay? Okay, expectation of what constitutes good customer service are always influenced to a degree by cultural values. So disagreement between two business over customer service issue may be as much about different expectations and attitudes as about the business issue itself. If only if one party believes they are dealing with the problem in an acceptable way, it may be difficult for them to understand why the other party is not satisfied with their response. When dealing with a customer service inquiry in an international context, it's important always to consider what outcome the other person is looking for. What are they really concerned about, and what do they expect to happen?
Okay, very good, very good. So we get this point of view about culture. Let me ask the class. Thinking about what Amir just read, how would you summarize this into a kind of a sentence or two? What's the gist of Stephen Regan's point of view about customer service?
It is about this article is about the culture gap and how to cope with it in business situation. Good customer service differs from various depending on that culture, and one business service is regarded as a good service in one area, but in another area it is regarded as disgusting. So
disgusting. Wow.
Not good. So. Okay. So it is important always to consider what outcome would be in this culture.
Yeah, I think that the main thing is when we, like you said, outcomes. I think what Stephen Regan is trying to get us to think about is consider what that customer from that culture considers a good outcome, not what you consider a good outcome. I think that's what he's trying to say. Put yourself in the shoes of the customer, but remember their shoes are very different than your shoes. They're from a totally different culture. Let me ask some new people, like Alan. Alan, do you have any experience with customer service in your job?
Yes, yes.
What's your
Sometime I have
experience like? What do you do?
my experience. Yes. Sometime customer service may not know what you're asking or your problem at the first time at the beginning. So we must have a very in-depth conversation so that they will get the problem behind the issue so that they can give more specific help.
Okay, good. Can you think of an example where that happened to you in your experience? Did you ever have a problem? Or were you ever on the other side as the customer service representative? What do you do for a living? What's your job? Are you studying or are you working?
I'm working. Yes. Um, Sometimes, for example, one time,
Yeah?
um, my client has a server machine has hard disk go back. So
So the client had their server go bad. Their server went down or had a bad sector or something.
has
And
a bad hard disk. One of the hard
bad
drive in
what?
the yeah,
Oh,
one of the hard drive in the
the hard disk failed, in other words.
yes,
Ah,
yes.
got it. Okay, okay.
So I need to call a customer service, but actually the customer service center is a foreign city, maybe in India or somewhere else. I'm not
Ah,
sure, but so I first of all I need to make a email request to foreign city and ask for help, and after they realize the problem, they have to send the message to the local field engineer and get the hard drive replaced. So this is take a lot of a long time because the message turnaround time is long. Yes,
okay. And how about communication? A little difficult, right? Because,
yes, not
yeah.
so not in a direct way for the communication.
Okay, very good. That's a really good example. That happens to everyone. You have to deal with a call center in another country where maybe they're not native speakers or you're not a native speaker. Everyone's had that experience. And let me ask Eric. Eric, did you get your microphone on? Eric Angelon? Is your microphone working now? Eric, hello? Eric, are you there? Going once? Going twice? Okay, I don't hear you. Eric, when you get your microphone on, just say hello to the group. So I would like to ask, also, Jose, I don't know anything about you. Are you working? Are you studying these days? You were in the class the other day, but I don't know what you do for a living. Jose?
Okay, teacher. I think that uh, I don't talk about it with you. I'm a math teacher and
Ah, okay.
I a PhD student. I'm studying math and law teacher.
Ah, okay,
And,
very good. So you don't have to deal with customer service, but you have to deal with angry parents.
and repeat again, teacher.
Are you teaching kids or adults?
Adults and kids
Adults.
too
Oh,
sometimes.
adults and kids. Oh, I see. So you don't have to deal with customer service as a professional, but
Yeah.
you do have to deal with angry parents, which is even worse.
Angry
Parents.
parents. I think that I have never had that problem in
Oh,
my
very good.
personal
You're
life.
very lucky. Very good.
Yeah, I think I'm a good teacher, and I'm modest too.
Very good. Very good. So you're lucky. Um,
Okay, teacher.
so let's keep this in mind as we do the task. this idea of putting yourself into the other person's shoes. For example, in Alan's example, maybe the people in the call center, because, well, I imagine they're not getting paid a lot, and it's not their native language, they may have a very hard time putting themselves in the shoes of the customer because they're there to answer. Maybe they're not even computer experts, right? That's happened to me at call centers before. So this guy, Stephen Reagan, has got some, it's a pretty good idea. I don't know how easy it would be to implement, but it's good for us to use as a tool to analyze the situation. Let's look at the situation right now. Here's our background to the customer service problem. So maybe what I can have you do here is dealing with customer service problems, differing expectations of customer service, and it's written there as a question. Are there differing expectations of customer service? Let's read about the case study, okay? So, why don't you start us off, Daniel, then we'll go to Yuki, and then we'll go to Jose, then Amir, and then to Alan. We'll go around the room. So maybe we can each take one little paragraph of the short text. Start us off, Daniel, please.
Different expectation of customer service.
Wait. Differing, 3 syllables.
Differing.
Good. Differing expectations.
Differing expectations.
Good. You gotta get that k sound when you see the x. Expect.
Different expectation with customer service.
Not bad at all. Keep going.
CBE Brasilia supplies companies around the world. Supplies companies around the world with first-class coffee beans. One of its clients is Cool Cafe, a chain of popular coffee shops originating in Germany, but now doing business in most German-speaking countries as well as a few of its Eastern European neighbors. Recently, Cool Cafe has experienced a problem with one of its internet orders with CBE Brasilia.
Okay, so CBE Brasilia is the coffee supplier, and Cool Cafe is the coffee chain, if that makes sense, okay? All right. Yuki, can you take us through the first 2 dates? We're going to see if we get everyone a chance to read 1 or 2 of these.
First March,
right.
A bulk order of coffee beans was made.
Good. Bulk. Can you tell us what that means in plain English? What's a bulk order? Do you know?
Bulk order is a big order.
Big order, right. Bulk. Not individual, but a big quantity. Bulk.
Big quantity of. Big quantity of. Yeah?
Exactly. Big quantity. Bulk.
Second April, delivery arrived, but premium selection and midnight espresso beans were missing. There was no documentation from CBE concerning the order, only the document on the package from the shipping company.
Okay, so now we get to see what the problem was. A bulk order was made, the delivery arrived, but what was the problem with the delivery, Yuki? The delivery arrived, but
problem is that document on the package. There is only document on the package arrived, but commodity hasn't arrived.
The commodity, the goods did not arrive. That's it. The commodity, the goods. Okay, sounds good. And Jose, can you take the next point for us on the right side?
Okay. Then, sorry, teacher, I'm lost in the list.
On the top right. On the top right. This is the next point in our timeline. So look at the top right.
Okay. Cool Cafe. Cool Cafe called customer services immediately. They were polite and friendly, but said there was no record of the order being placed. Further calls were made to customer service on 4, 10, 11 April, and mail was sent 16 April.
Okay, good. Jose, when we talk about dates, the easiest way to say the date is like this. The 4th. Repeat, the 4th.
The sorry,
Good.
teacher.
The
The
4th,
fourth.
because what you're saying in English is o quarto, right? The 10th, o décimo, because we have to
Okay.
say it like that. And then the 11th.
The 4th, the 10th, 11th
Of April.
of April.
That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
good.
Okay, so it's written differently than we say it. It's written for, but it's pronounced the 4th of, the 10th of, the 11th of. Okay, so Cool Cafe called customer service. They were polite and friendly. That's always nice. But they said there's no record. That's a problem. Because they paid for it. If you pay for it and you don't get the product, that is definitely a problem. Who's next? Alan, can you read the second to last point on the right, the one in the middle?
Okay. Cool Cafe called again on the 18th of April, and we're told there was no record of the order or of their communication with the company since the incomplete delivery. CBE accounts department.
Wait. Just one
Okay,
time.
okay.
So Alan, what do you think about the supplier based on what we've read so far? Do you think the fault lies with the supplier, CBE, or do you think the fault lies with Cool Cafe? What do you think the problem is? What's the origin of the problem, in your opinion?
I guess there will be a communication problem between the supplier and the client. Maybe the problem maybe at the supplier side, because the supplier should have double confirm with the client for the order. If
Absolutely,
they have, yeah, if they have this procedure, the client will have noticed something wrong if there is not double confirm things. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they didn't confirm, and they appear to have major problems with their database and documentation because they don't have a record of the order, and they don't have a record of the last call that was made, right? Because there's no order, there's no record of the communication. So it seems that I agree with you, Alan. It seems like the supplier is the one at fault in this case. Okay, and who's next? I don't even know where we are. Eric, can you read? Is your microphone working now? Hello, Eric? Can you read? Can you hear me? Eric, can you hear me? Oh, you don't have a microphone. Oh, okay, I see. All right, no problem. When you get a microphone in later classes, then I'll love to hear your voice. Okay, so you can use the chat window for now. So Amir, can you read the final one, the final point there in the timeline of the problem with CBE and Cool Cafe? Can you read the last point for us on the right?
Exactly. CBE accounts department was contacted. They found a receipt and details of delivery with the signature.com. However, this receipt was for the same goods, but the Cool Cafe CH, the Zurich office, which made a purchase on the same day.
Okay, so think about that last point. Now we probably get to see what the origin of the problem was. Okay, so I'm going to ask all of you as a class, how would you summarize that last point? Where does the problem seem to have occurred? Because it seems like we figured it out here. So if you had to say that in plain English, what would you say?
Maybe Cool Cafe Zurich
Uh-huh.
take the goods missing.
Maybe the delivery was to the wrong place. Yeah. So there's a cool cafe in Zurich, and there's a cool cafe in where is this one? The recently cool cafe. Hold on, wait. Actually, I'm getting a little confused here because we got the Zurich office, but the receipt was for the same goods but for Zurich, which made the purchase on the same day. Daniel, Zurich made the purchase on the same day. Who else made the purchase? Because I don't think that's clear, is it?
Yes, it's not very clear.
It's not clear. Okay, so wherever the other office is, it seems like Brasilia sent it to Zurich instead of where it was supposed to go. Do we all agree with that? Or are me and Daniel confused? Does everyone kind of agree with that? Does that seem to make sense?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, great. Fantastic. So, here's my question. My question is, what's your opinion of the way CBE Brasilia dealt with the situation? So I think we all agree with Alan that CBE is really the one at fault. Could it have dealt with the problem more effectively? Could the problem be related to the different expectations each culture has of customer service? Class, let's get some ideas here. What do you think?
Maybe the way to work from CB Brasilia is very slow.
Right. Very slow.
Very slow because in their culture, the things goes slowly in general.
Right. That makes sense because CB Brasilia is probably from what country?
I know the way to work in South America and in Spain, for example. I know it's very different because I have a couple of friends working there, and the things are very, very different.
Right.
This company would be bankrupt if they work in Japan.
Maybe. So we're dealing with two cultures, Germany and specifically Swiss German Zurich. So efficiency is really important and everyone is always on time and blah, 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 blah. Organization is the most important thing.
Yes.
Right? And then we have Brasilia, which is probably in Brazil, probably the capital, right? So maybe they're more laid back. Maybe they have a different attitude about work. Maybe they're also have a different expectation because, when I first came to Portugal, I used to get really worried because everything seemed to be in slow motion. and then I realized that things, they can work, and sometimes in a way they might work better than the States, in a way, some things. Because people really will do the work, they just aren't necessarily good about telling you that they're doing it. Whereas in the States, they're always in contact with you. Now we're going to go here, and now we're going to go. It doesn't mean that they're doing a better job. They just communicate faster. So that's one difference that I
Germany people is
noticed.
very punctual. So I think CBE Brasilia should have react quickly, considering about the client and the culture of client.
Well, Jose, you're in Brazil. What do you think about CV Brasilia? Do you think that they're at fault, or do you think that the German headquarters is at fault in some way? Let's ask the Brazilian what he thinks.
Okay, teacher. Well, I don't know about the relations between Brazil and another country. But here in Brazil, we have many problems with customer service. Maybe when we treat with company of cell phones or something like that. I
Uh-huh.
don't know about that specific case, and I think that we can have this kind of problem, but I'm not sure.
All right. Well, let's put it this way. What could CBE Brasilia definitely have done better? There's one thing that they absolutely could have done better. So, class, if you had to name one thing, what would it be?
About the
I'm
the
talking to
test.
everyone too, not just to Jose. I'm talking to
I,
all of
I
you.
think the company should have reacted quickly, and and it should have explained customer the situation clearly,
Okay.
and made apologized as soon
Apology.
as possible.
Apology.
Ah, made apology. Made
Right. Okay. So that's one way they could have handled it. Absolutely. They could have reacted quicker, been clear, and apologized immediately. So when they have Japanese customers, that's what they should do.
Maybe the nets goods for free.
So they could offer them a kind of compensation. Is that what you mean,
Yes.
Daniel? Yeah,
Yes.
they could compensate them. Okay. Let's go back to Alan for a second. Alan, you're a computer guy. What could they have done computer-wise? What could they have done to handle the situation better?
Yes, maybe they can enhance their system for something like when there is an order has been made, their system automatically send out an email confirmation or expected delivery date information for a client so that the client can ensure that their order has been made.
Absolutely.
Um,
So
yes.
setting up automation in the system so that they don't have to, right? They don't have to deal with everything. Maybe they don't have enough staff, right? So get it to be automated. That is a great idea. Absolutely. Let me offer you one class. Let me offer you one opinion. Here's my opinion. What if they just learn to document things? I think that Alan's solution is the right direction. They should use better databases so that when they take okay, two possibilities: better databases, or train staff that don't forget to enter the information into the database. It could have been a human error, or it could have been that their databases were not um, up to standard. Maybe the interface was too confusing. People didn't like. If I go to the bank here in Portugal, it takes them a half an hour to get the most simple information out of their computer screens because they use this really antiquated. They use Microsoft Windows, which I can't understand. This is the government bank, the national bank, and it's very slow and it's really confusing. So I would say, use a better database with an easier interface, or train the staff to input the information right away so that the order can be tracked. There was no tracking here. That's a database problem and maybe a human error as well. Okay? So we got some good ideas about how to improve their customer service. Um, I want you to listen to Jose, not Jose our student, but Jose Buenadir from CBE Brasilia describe the problem and how it was resolved. You're going to have 3 questions to help to think about as you listen. Okay? So first, I want you to listen with your ears, and then we can listen again and have you read the transcript because the transcript is at the end of the document on slide 11. Okay, but listen first, everyone. Jose says, it was one of those unfortunate situations that occasionally occurs with online ordering. My customer services team reacted appropriately and did their best to satisfy the customer. It's regrettable that the money for the goods was deducted from the customer's account without any documentation to the order. We decided to refund the complete amount of the order, not only the goods that were missing. Though, without any record of the order being made, this wasn't an easy decision. Obviously, we couldn't offer this to the company immediately as the situation needed investigating before compensation was given. I feel we did the right thing, and the main thing is we have a satisfied customer who will continue doing business with us. Okay, so what did they do to fix the problem, class? What did they do? They
Refund.
refunded, compensated, gave something for free. Absolutely. Shadow, read question 1 for us.
Yes.
Could you read question 1 in exercise 2?
This
Can you see it?
factory. Yeah. Okay. Was this a why or why not?
I couldn't hear your question. One more time.
Was this a satisfactory resolution to the problem? Why or why not?
What do you think, Shadow? Do you think it was a good solution?
Mm-hmm.
Why or why not?
Oh, really?
What? We can barely hear you. Say again?
I said
Oh, you're being cut off, Shadow. We can't hear your microphone.
customers. I heard that they give customers free things and that makes customers satisfied.
Okay, yeah. You have to keep the customer satisfied. So you might lose a bit of money, but you're going to have a satisfied customer, and that means you're going to have a repeat customer. So I absolutely agree. Question number 2. Let's see. Who hasn't read? Jose, could you read number 2 for us?
What lessons should the company learn from this situation?
What do you think, Jose? What's the main lesson they should take away from this situation? Brasilia, that is. What should they take away from it?
Well, teacher, I believe the company gain experience with that situations, and we try to make different in another opportunity and make that things better for another company or for the same company in that case, because I believe that they they look to do the better refund them and try to keep the company with
Try to keep them as a client. Try to keep them
try to keep them with,
as a client. Absolutely. Yeah, okay. So the main point is to learn from the experience. Don't just move on and forget about it. Really use it as a learning experience. And Daniel, what do you think they could specifically learn from this experience? If they choose to learn from it, they say, okay, we admit we made a mistake. What do you think is the main lesson that they've learned from it?
Maybe they should review his internal.
They should review their internal
departments.
Right, absolutely.
Delivery departments or resource human department.
So an internal review is a very good idea. Maybe they're not looking at their system. to avoid this kind of problem. Okay, I agree. And any other opinions out there? No? Okay, that's fine. Yuki, could you read the last question for us? Number 3?
What changes could it make it to improve its customer service?
Well, you talked about responding quickly, right? So that was one change we mentioned. Would you add anything to that, Yuki?
I think it in the future, yeah.
Yeah, in the future, like
maybe company should maybe company would better to verify the document and order. It's very important to not to repeat the mistake they made this time. This time they are and this time the money for goods was deducted from the customer's account without any documentation to the order. It's a mistake for company.
Big mistake.
Yes, big mistake. So of course it is good to make for them to make a decision to refund, but beforehand they have to be pay attention more to treat with the order carefully, verifying with documentation.
So, responding more quickly, verifying orders and verifying even the communication that they had, making sure that there's a record of this. Okay?
Yes.
Anything else from the rest of the group that they could change specifically? I mean,
specific team for
say
that.
again? Say again, sorry? Repeat?
Make some training for the specifically team.
Yeah, I think so too. Getting the people to really know how to do their jobs well. You know, it's not obvious. You really do need to be trained. Sounds good. Here's one more suggestion I'll give to you. My own opinion. My own opinion is that they should be advising the clients on the. Remember, I said tracking. Tracking is the really issue here. If I send a package to the United States, I get a tracking number, and I can go to the website at any point and see where my package is, right? I don't need to waste time. I don't need to talk to anybody. Yes. So they need something like that. You need to be able to track your order, and then no one's even going to have to call customer service. It'll take most of the communication will be resolved because they've got immediate feedback. So some way to give immediate feedback to track the progress. What do you think about that?
I usually order things from China, from Alibaba.com, and I always have a number, a tracking number. How you say, I always know where the packet is.
And have you ever had problems? Because when
Never.
Really, I remember I have to send stuff to the United States and receive it, and I've had problems sending it and receiving it. Sending it, the tracking number one time stopped in Lisbon. So I sent it from one part of Lisbon. I looked the next day, I saw that it went to the airport, and the tracking number stopped after that. Unbelievable. It arrived, but they didn't track it after that. The next time I had to send a package, I could track it all the way into the United States, so I was able to see.
What company?
Through the Portuguese post office. When it was sent back through FedEx. But that didn't help either, because FedEx and DHL, like, you can pay a lower amount, and then they'll ship it through the local post office once it arrives to the country. So, and it's really expensive to get a personal delivery. Really, really expensive. So there's really no choice. It has to go through the post office, and I've had problems both sending and receiving. But then I could deal with customer service at that point.
How long has it take to
Forever.
receive your package?
2 months. Forever.
2 months?
Yeah,
Oh.
2 months. And it wasn't a package, it was a letter. I had to send something to a government office and get a stamp on it.
Okay.
Yeah, just a letter, just a document. It had some processing time. So I don't know how much I think the shipping was fast. I think it was the processing time. But anyway, so I think that tracking will cut down on customer service. It'll make your customers happy, and ultimately it'll cost less because people will know exactly what's going on. They don't need to bother anyone. So that would be my suggestion. Let me just zoom out here so we go to the next page. Okay. Our task, we're going to start the task today, and maybe we can continue. I don't know if I can get a time slot tomorrow, but I'll try to find one because we're not going to have time to do everything. But let's just get started at least. It asks us to work with a partner. Well, we'll work together as a group. You are going to make 2 phone calls each. One to an internal customer and one to an external customer. Read each situation and then make and receive the calls. On the next slide, you can see the situations. Let's see if we can do at least 1 phone call before we stop class, and then in the next class, we'll be able to do the complete activity, okay? Let's see. Amir, could you read situation 1 for us so we can see what the problem is? Are you there, Amir? Uh-oh. Amir is sleeping. Alan, could you take over for Amir? Because I don't think his microphone's on.
Okay. The section student A, right?
That's right. Start with student A.
Okay. Situation. You work in marketing and recently ordered a print award to be placed in an international magazine. You have noticed some errors which must be corrected before the ad goes to print. Your supervisor is angry and wants confirmation that thing can be amended as ASAP as soon as possible.
ASAP.
ASAP. What?
ASAP. ASAP.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Okay. Call your advertising agents about the changes. Problem.
Okay.
We spell name not Catherine, but
Catherine?
Catherine, but Catherine.
Right.
Catherine. Change contact information to
blah, 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 blah. Yeah. You don't have to read it right now.
Okay.
Okay. And
To
the ad,
appear twice monthly, not weekly. Okay.
that's right. And you've got a deadline there too. Okay, so student A, that's your problem. That's the part that you've got to communicate. Student B. Well, Shadow, do you think you could read student B for us? You're going to be receiving the call. So find out what you need to know here.
You want me to read student B?
Student B, yes, situation, student B.
Okay. Situation, you work in graphics in an advertising agency. There are a lot of campaigns starting at the moment.
There are a lot of campaigns.
There are a lot of campaigns starting at the moment. You receive the call from a customer, make a note of the problems and clarify any information that isn't clear. Action, decide which course of action you can promise A. You promise all changes can be made in time for the deadline. B. You need to check details with the magazine publishers and try to change things with them. Ad has already been sent. We'll get back to customer by the end of the week. C. It's too late to make any changes as the ad has been sent. The ad was sent for proofreading to your
Good.
client weeks ago, so it isn't really your fault.
So you have a choice of which line of action you can take, okay? And here's the key thing. On the next slide, nope, down one. There. On slide 12, I think it is. I can't see the number. Yeah, slide 12, you have key expressions for reassuring, sympathizing, and asking about a situation. On slide 13, you have key expressions for dealing with customers. This is a summary of some of the most important language we've learned in the class so far. So at any point, if you want to cheat, go forward to slides 12 and 13 by downloading the presentation or opening it in your browser and use these expressions proactively. Okay? I want you to use these exact expressions so that you can expand your vocabulary and say something that you feel confident that you know it's correct. Okay? So I don't want you to guess too much. You can add the information, but basically try to put these expressions into use. So slide 13 for dealing with customer, slide 12 for reassuring and sympathizing, like, how awful. Well, to be careful about how formal and informal you are. Okay? So think about those. Let's go back to our task. We have just a minute, but we have time maybe to do one short phone call, or at least the beginning of a phone call. So, what do you think, Alan and Shadow? Why don't we just try a quick 2-minute phone call where we deal with this situation one time, and then we'll do an evaluation after, a really quick 30-second evaluation about what could have gone better and what was strong, what needs improvement, okay? So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to have the call. Alan, you're going to be making the call. We, as a class, are going to give you suggestions maybe in the chat window, or we might call it out, okay? So, for example, I might say, you know, I might tell you to use an expression like, one second, like, let me get this straight. That's one of our clarifying expressions, okay? So then you would repeat that and try to use the expression. So Alan and Shadow, want to give a quick phone call a try? A quick role play?
Teacher, can you choose someone else because I have a problem with these. I don't have vocabulary really.
Okay, okay. No problem. Alan, you want to be the caller? Want to give it a try as the caller, Alan?
Okay.
All right. Who wants to be the receiver? Jose, Yuki, Daniel, Amir? Who wants to be the receiver? We only have time to do one. So
I'll try.
Go for it. Okay. So Alan, you're going to be calling Yuki, right? Who do you work for, Alan? What's your company?
Maybe ABC company.
Your ABC company, and you work in which department?
I'm working for the marketing department.
Exactly. Yuki, which department do you work for?
I'm working with the graphics.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Okay. So, are you ready?
Okay. Only my answer is what selection is better. I can decide A, B, C.
You decide. You decide. It's up to you.
Yes. Okay.
It's according to your mood, basically.
Okay.
Let me just take a quick look if I didn't miss anything here. 1 second. No, that's it. That's it. Okay, it's just that. Okay, we're going to give this a shot, and I'll be here to help you, and everyone else, listen and get ready to give them feedback. We're going to keep this short because today is just a quick practice. Alan, you're calling. Yuki, you're picking up. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. That's the telephone. Ring, ring.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Yes.
Yuki, pick up. Ring,
Uh,
ring.
yes,
Ring, ring.
I'm Yuki in ABC Corporation, ABC, National Graphics in Graphics Department.
And what's the question you're going to ask to start the conversation?
What seems to be the problem?
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Alan?
Yes. I'm calling for about printing advertisement in your international magazine. I noticed something that should be correct before print. Can I have your help?
Okay, let me check it. Yes, this is the advertisement you asked us to.
Yes, yes. I'm from ABC company. There should be
yes, to
a.
be placed in the international magazine. Yes.
Yes. Can you find our advertisement going to print? I'm calling from ABC company.
Yes.
I think you both said you work for ABC. Wait a second.
I'm saying National Graphics. Yeah. Could you tell me exactly what the problem is?
Yes. Yes. There is a name, Catherine. Is misspelled in the advertisement. The corrected name should be Katerina. Katerina.
How many mistakes do you want to correct?
Actually, I got two.
Two mistakes?
Three mistakes. Three mistakes at all.
Oh, okay. Let me some time to check out. Oh no, we already sent to your material to the editor.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's too late to make any changes. I must apologize to you. Now it is too late to correct it.
Oh, but can you help to do something so that you can stop it and get it corrected? Because my boss is very angry about the wrong, and we have to correct it, or it will be a very big problem for our company.
Mention the deadline. Mention the deadline.
Okay, I understand your situation. Okay, I understand your situation. I'm going to have a look into this, and I'll call now to the editor and ask whether we could change your advertisement or not. But for my experience, it is very difficult to change now. So
yes, we
and it is we
go ahead,
and
Alan.
we
What were you going
sent
to say?
for okay.
Because I think we cut him off. What were you going to ask, Alan?
Yes. Can we do it by this Thursday? Yes. We have that night for this.
Here's a quick suggestion, Alan. We're going to have to stop it because we're a bit over time. But here's a quick suggestion. Okay. What if you proactively give him a suggestion about how to fix it in a polite way? So you know what you need. What if you would just make a suggestion about how to fix the problem and then mention the deadline? Instead of just saying, "Can you help me?" What if you make a suggestion about how he could help you, and then that will give him a goal, and it'll be easier for him to talk to his supervisor because he can say specifically what to do. What do you think about that, Alan?
May I?
You have my permission. I'm saying, what do you think about that approach? Instead of just saying, can you help me, what if you suggest to him how he could help you, what you really need, in other words? What do you think about that, Alan?
So you're asking how what is my suggestion for him for the customer service?
I'm asking you as the customer.
Yes.
What if you use a different strategy? Instead of being helpless, what if you say to him, look, this is what I really need, but you say it in a polite way. Notice Yuki is using indirect questions. Can you tell me what the problem is? Do you know when this happened? I mean, so if you use indirect questions or indirect statements, you can sound polite, but at the same time, be very clear about what you need. So that's what I'm suggesting. What if we change strategies a little bit? What do you think about that?
Yes, maybe I can ask for a favor for my request.
Okay, fine. Why not? What I'm saying is, if you do it that way, it gives you both something very specific to work on. Whereas if you say, "Can you help me?" maybe that will slow down the process.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So yes, I would like to stop the advert.
Good.
Yes, I would like to stop the advert replaced in the international magazine, and I need some correction to be made on the advert.
Oh, that sounds like.
What do you think,
Thursday.
Yuki? You think it's possible?
Oh, that sounds like a little problem for our company. But I think we can find a way to cope with this situation. Maybe yes. Maybe
if you're not sure, you can always delay it. You know, you can always try to get back to it if you're not sure what to do.
Okay, let me check detail with your with the situation of magazine publishers and try to change things with them. Okay.
And once you've done what, you will do what. So promise action before you go, Yuki. Promise action.
I'll promise you examine the situation and seek the opportunity, seek the possibility to change the misspelled name.
Right. To change what we're able to change at the very least. Okay, very good, very good. So at the end, I would have said this, Yuki. I would have said, look, once I've checked with our editor, I'll call you back as soon as I can to see what's possible. But I'll make every effort. I'll make every effort to make the changes that you mentioned. I'll make every effort.
I make every effort.
It's a good expression.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to have to go because we're over time. We'll do the full activity. We'll give everyone a chance to do this, and we'll add some other variables as we go on, okay? If I can get time, I'll schedule it tomorrow. Right now, it looks like the schedule is closed, but if I can, I'll schedule it tomorrow. If not, I'll send you a message about when the next class will be. As you know, the class is normally Mondays to Thursdays from 11 to 12 GMT. So at the very latest, it'll be on Monday, okay? But I'll try to get an extra one before the weekend. Okay, great job, everyone. Bye for now. Talk to you soon.
Bye for now. Thank you for the class.
Bye-bye. See you.
Take care.